We thought we knew what to expect. 3 Caribbean islands. How different could Aruba, Bonaire, and Curaçao really be? Well, it turns out we were dead wrong. Because not only did these 3 islands have a completely different vibe, they had a completely different reality. One had beautiful color, other had culture, and one stole our hearts completely. We've got a lot to cover, and the surprises, yeah, they started immediately. So let's go. So come on already, let's go. Hi everyone, I'm Leslie. Travel runs through my veins. My passport is my favorite book, and I'm on a trip when I book my next trip. So if that gives you any indication of what you're in for, yeah, put your tray tables up because we're about to land in Aruba. Oranjestad to be exact. And let me say this up front, Aruba doesn't ease you in, it glows. That'll make more sense as we get through the video. The pastel buildings, the impossible water, the sun that feels like it's custom ordered just for us. Oranjestad is the capital of Aruba. It's a colorful mashup of Dutch colonial charm, Caribbean vibes, and just pure Aruba awesome. All of this is wrapped in an island that's more desert than jungle and more cactus than coconuts. But I'll be honest, walking in Oranjestad didn't entirely feel cruise friendly. Things are more spread out here than we expected, so unless you're shopping or casino hopping, you might want to either get the free streetcar, or it's kind of a tram that runs through downtown here, or most people just jump into a cab or walk like we did. You're likely going to want to go to the beach or to a beach bar, which is exactly what we set out to do. We dipped our toes into Aruba's signature water. And snapped one of my all-time favorite travel photos, this one. This is Eagles Beach. Eagles Beach is Aruba's crown jewel and consistently is called out as one of the #1 beaches in the world by TripAdvisor. Think powdery white sand, turquoise clear water, the iconic divvy trees that are twisted by the trade winds here. And although Roy is not a beach guy, this Eagles Beach will play a central role in our day today, but I'll get to that in a minute. But first we have to make a beeline for Lucy's Retired Surfers Bar and Restaurant. Local beer, check. NFL on the screen for Roy, double check. And it's right by the cruise port for a quick costume change. Costume change? Why the costume change? Yeah, we have big plans tonight in Aruba. Dinner on the beach. The Eagles Beach I referred to earlier. When I tell you I hesitated a bit at a restaurant called Passions on the Beach, let's be real, it sounds a little, I don't know, cheesy or extra, but it came highly recommended and wow, it lived up to the hype. We took an easy $15 cab ride out to Eagles Beach and were handed glasses of champagne as we were escorted out to the water's edge. Yes! The tables are literally set up right on the water's edge of Eagles Beach. Look at this restaurant view. Does it get any better than this? The food was exceptional, the service was extraordinary, the views were breathtaking, and the night was only beginning. They lit the tiki torches at sunset. There was a live saxophone serenade as we left. Just absolute perfection. I'd go back to Aruba just for this experience alone. I am so glad we did it. It was so easy to get out there. It was so easy to get back, and we absolutely loved our experience. So way to go, Passions on the Beach. Now for the C of the ABCs. Curaçao. And if Aruba was chill, island, glamorous, Curaçao is like walking straight into a picture-perfect living postcard. You may know it after its namesake, the blue liqueur Curaçao. It comes from a bitter orange that's only grown here in Curaçao. Williamstad is bursting with color, culture, and it's almost this magical energy here. Right off the ship, you'll cross the Queen Emma floating bridge. It's one of the world's only floating pontoon bridges, nicknamed the Swinging Old Lady, as it literally floats on pontoons. And when ships need to pass, the entire bridge swings open, so you're literally walking on a bridge that moves like a boat. This bridge connects two worlds, or sides of Williamstad, the Punda and the Atrobanda side, and along with Ondelsgata, the street that you see here with all the colorful buildings. Punda is the shops and cafes, and Otrobanda is more local. It has the Riff Fort and all the street art. Both are very different, but both worthy in their own right. We wandered both sides to see all that Williamstad had for us, including the Chapel Emmanuel, the steel sculpture covered with heart locks. Oh, every time I see these, it just warms my heart. The giant Curaçao sign, and yep, I climbed right into that sea. And these Chi-Chi dolls, they're black painted female sculptures that represent the strong older sisters in the Caribbean families. Created by artist Serena Israel, the project provided artistic opportunities for local women, contributing to the island's vibrant art scene and economy. And Curaçao is famous for douchey signs. Now I know what you're thinking, it's not douchey like you think. Douchey in Curaçao means kind of like sweet and nice and good. 3 words that I would absolutely use to describe Curaçao. But Curaçao has a history too. This is the Riff Fort. It was built in 1828 to defend the entrance to St. Anna Bay and this area of Williamstad. It was designed as a bomb-proof stronghold with 56 cannons and 27 arches. Today, it's a popular tourist destination with shops and bars, and there even is a small fort museum inside. The streets here are covered with colorful street art and even the stairs. Did you know you can even mail a coconut home from Curaçao? Yep, you heard me correctly. All you have to do is put the address on the shell, take it to a Williamstad post office, and they'll send it home for you because postcards are so yesterday. Now, in true form, Roy ducks back to watch more football on board. And I got myself a day pass at the Avia Hotel using Resort Pass. Now, I would love to know if anyone watching has used or knows about Resort Pass. So put it in the comments where you've gone, what you've done, and what you know about Resort Pass. I would love to hear about it. For those of you that don't, it's an app that you can use for anywhere in the United States, in the Caribbean, and in Mexico. And what it is it's designed for hotels and resorts. As you know, hotels and resorts are for overnight stays. But a lot of people, like me, don't want to stay overnight or don't need to, but we want to still experience and enjoy the resort. So Resort Pass gives you the opportunity to go to the resort for the day. So great. So I have used it in several different places. This one in Curaçao was such a great resort. It had its own beach. The ocean water was partitioned off and a pool for the resort. It had a beautiful restaurant and bar. There was a spa. I got a massage. You can lay by the pool. It was just such a great afternoon. Food was great. The drinks were great. The service was great. It was just great. And typically Resort Pass can be anywhere from $25 to $100, depending on the resort and what amenities you use or want, and it's so worth it for an afternoon at a beautiful resort that you wouldn't have access to unless you stayed overnight. So the front desk calls me a cab back to the cruise port, which took me over the Queen Juliana Bridge, which soars 185 feet above the harbor. I don't know, just tall enough to allow our cruise ship to glide under it. As the sun sets, fireworks light up the sky, and I'm not sure what they're celebrating, but we're claiming it as our send-off to ensure that Curaçao has our #1 vote as the ABC's favorite. Now, just when we thought The ABCs could not get any better. Yeah, Bonaire joins the group chat. Let me tell you about Bonaire. If you do one thing in Bonaire, it's this: rent a golf cart from Bonaire Cruisers. Just do it, trust me. These carts are super easy to drive. They're fitted with long-range gas tanks and insurance. Drivers must be 23 years old with a valid driver's license, and just take note here that they currently only have 2-person carts, so keep that in mind when you're renting them. If you have multiple parties in your group, you're gonna need multiple carts, but you're also gonna need over 23 drivers. You wanna bring lots of water, some snacks, and maybe some money if you wanna stop at a restaurant or to get a drink. Oh my God.
I can pull over here if you want.
You can choose how far you go or where you want to go. They'll give you a map at Bonaire Cruisers. You can also download a map. We chose to do the whole island. I'll give you my thoughts on that at the end. The south side of the island has the salt flats, the slave huts for the slaves who worked those flats, the flamingo sanctuary, great snorkeling spots, and a world famous windsurf spot with 2 great beach bars if you need to stop and get a drink. The South Loop alone will take you about 90 minutes. The North Loop is about 2 hours. So if you do the whole thing, you're talking about 3 hours, but that doesn't include stops. And between us stopping and photo taking, we were in our golf cart for 7 hours and we enjoyed every single second of it. So just be mindful of how much time you have and whether the north side or the south side are the best options for you. And I'll give you my thoughts on that as well. The north side has more great snorkel spots like the famous 1,000 steps where we saw sea turtle. The Rincon area, which is the oldest village on Bonaire, and a viewing point on the top of the hill with great views back over the city. If you're limited on time, I would suggest doing the north side. First of all, it's the shorter route, so you can control your time. Secondly, the water. You can ride right on the cliff edge of the water, and it's just staggeringly beautiful. And so there's not as much to do on the north side, but it's a viewing just, overload. The south side, there's more to do, but it's a 2-hour loop and it swings way out on the tip of the island. And so I would just be a little more concerned about your time. Just keep that in mind. To top it off, we made a final sweet stop at Luciano's Ice Cream. Yes, that's Luciano, world-class gelato in the middle of this Caribbean island. I'm telling you, Bonaire came to play. Woo! We absolutely adored Bonaire, if that hasn't been obvious. I would come back to Bonaire over and over and over again. I would rent these golf carts over and over and over again. It was just so chill, islandy, relaxing, beautiful. The water, obviously there's every water related thing known to man you can do there. Just such a great vacation spot. Highly recommend it, and obviously my favorite out of the ABCs. We came to the ABCs thinking we would just check off 3 countries off of our list, and we got 3 entirely different stories. Aruba with this romantic evening we didn't even know we needed. Curaçao with this cultural, picture-perfect Dutch town. And Bonaire that stole our hearts completely. So have you been to the ABCs? I'm dying to know which one is your favorite, what you did there when you visited the islands, what you thought of the video today, just any and all of your comments. I love them. Be sure to put them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, because next up is Grenada on our way to Brazil. And when I tell you we have a stop in Brazil that is going to blow your mind. So this is only the beginning. The adventure is heating up here. You don't want to miss it. So I will see all of you in Grenada.